LAPD says 17 gangs, including the Bloods, Crips, and the Serenos, target the rich in teams. The LAPD recently revealed that about 17 of the city's most notorious criminal organizations, including the Bloods, Crips, and the Serenos, have all rolled out a new plan that has put the wealthiest residents of Los Angeles on notice. The street gangs have been sending out convoys of multiple vehicles to spot and follow prospects who are driving the most expensive cars and wearing the most high-end jewelry and clothing. This new wave of teaming up and pillaging has resulted in the heist of designer bags, handbags, diamond-studded watches, and several other very expensive items, upwards of 10,000 and more. In turn, the criminal organizations are flipping the stolen goods on the black market and making a fortune. Criminal tactics have evolved so much that many of the gangs have already begun to insert undercover members at high-end events to spot rich and famous attendees in hopes of setting them up for a robbery later in the day. As a result, the LAPD's Hollywood division has reported more robberies of this nature than any other president in the area. According to the Captain Jonathan Tippett of the LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division, the unruly phenomenon that started in South LA is often highlighted by gangs that roll 5 cars deep, where they blindside their victims and make their daring move. In order to combat the robberies, LAPD Chief Mikhail Moore has designated a task force completely dedicated to learning more about criminal organizations, their leaders, and the locations that they are scouting. It is widely believed that the large reason for the surge in the crimes is the financial impact the COVID-19 has had on the entire country. It looks like the battle for Los Angeles has only just begun. For more of this developing story between the LAPD and the city's most notorious criminal organizations, please stay tuned. This is crazy, man. They are jacking out here in LA, man. For real. I live out here in LA. And it's been in the news almost every day about these robberies. They have gotten so brazen, actually, that they robbed a guy. He was driving a Ferrari, and they ran up on this dude at 1:30 at an intersection. No police. It's crazy because it used to be police in Beverly Hills, but this guy, they fought this guy in a Ferrari, and they pulled him up out of his Ferrari and took his watch and his wallet and any kind of cash. Then they had one guy open the door to his car, and they was going through his glove compartment. They did this stuff in a matter of, seemed like minutes. It's almost as if like they got this down pat to where it's a science where they in and out. They do it within like a minute or so, and they're gone. And they've been going over at Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, Santa Monica area, and they robbing left and right, man. And I think it's because of the COVID-19. People don't want to go back to work, man. People got used to sitting at home for what, a year? It was like what, almost 2 years, right? A year and a half to 2 years. People was at home getting money. The PPP loans have dried up. People were getting tens of thousands of dollars on that, so that kind of kept people, on the quiet for a while. But now you want me to go back to work for $12 an hour? You know what I'm saying? And I was making more than that sitting on my ass for a year and a half. So a lot of people. And then also, I'm gonna tell you another thing that happened out here in LA. We had the riots during the George Floyd thing. So you got to think, the COVID-19 was still going on. We was right in the midst of the whole COVID-19 when George Floyd. You got to think, we was on lockdown when George Floyd got killed. So when he got killed, and the officers that didn't get arrested, they had riots all over Los Angeles and Beverly Hills. So you gotta think the police were. It was just so much going on when those riots happening because they was robbing Santa Monica, they was robbing Beverly Hills. Louis Vuitton store got robbed. There used to be a high-end sneaker shop on Fairfax called Fight Club. They 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 took everything about that motherfucker. And I don't even think Fight Club didn't even come back. I think they're closed now. So these people were getting paid in the last 2021, 2020, illegal and legal, through the PPP loans. The unemployment insurance was up. It was like what, $1,000 a week, damn near. And now you want me to go back to work? And these cats are like, nah, we finna go back. We finna go back out here and do what we did when George Floyd died. We finna go just rob people in Beverly Hills. And I don't think that the police in LA, I mean the LAPD, I don't think they realize the severity of this because you know how many. Let me tell you something, man. Especially the Serranos alone, that's the Mexican mafia. That's what Serranos is, and they are thousands deep. And you gotta think they're young members. So being that the Bloods and the Crips and the Serranos are all teaming up together, because you gotta think Serranos, they in line with the skinheads. That's a prison Mexican gang. The Serranos is one of the most powerful gangs. I would say like they're like the mafia. They're huge. So for them to team up, and a lot of them don't really consort with blacks. But I'm thinking a lot of the younger ones are pretty much blending in with the Bloods and the Crips, and they're teaming up and they're robbing the rich. They're robbing Beverly Hills and they're getting money, man. Like I said, and then another incident that happened. This happened last week. I think it was probably about maybe 2 weeks ago, where a bunch of gang members, at least 10 of them, they went up 2:30 in the afternoon. People are walking around. They went up right up the sledgehammer and bust the front window out of this jewelry store and took like at least, I think it was like $150,000 worth of jewelry out of the straight out the window, and just right broad daylight. People were looking, cell phones out, hopped in the van. It was a van pulled up right when they got the jewelry, and they hopped right in the van and took off. I think one of the guys that worked at the jewelry store, I think he grabbed one of them and he dropped all his jewelry. I think it was like maybe 50,000 that he dropped of jewelry, and he kept running. But still, they made off with $150,000 worth of jewelry. You know, even with a crew of 10 people, you got to think in a matter of minutes. Let me see, a crew of 10 people, how much money is that? Let's see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And you split the other 50,000. You still 10 people. Y'all split that, 10 ways. You still looking at what, 12,000 each within a matter of minutes, versus you working a job. It's gonna take you probably months to make that. You made it in a matter of minutes. These young people ain't going back to no job. You know what I'm saying? You can't give me a taste of filet mignon and then enough filet, for a year and a half, and then like enough, filet mignon. Go back to eating ramen noodles. It's like, no, motherfucker, I want me some filet. I don't even know how to say it. Filet mignon now. I'm used to that now. I've been eating it for a year and a half. The good shit. Don't give me no. I can't just go back to eating McDonald's. And I was eating that, Ruth Chris Steakhouse for a past year and a half, and now I'm back eating top ramen. Somebody got to give up some money. Now, I'm not saying what they're doing is right, but being that I grew up in poverty, I grew up around poor people, I understand. Everybody can't wait to get that college degree and go to college and become a doctor to eat Ruth Chris. I want Ruth Chris now, especially you done gave me a little taste of it. So I'm not condoning what they're doing. I think what they're doing is wrong. But the way I look at it is like this here. It's better that they rob the rich than they rob the poor. So I'm kind of glad that they're not robbing us over in the hood. And I think they know if we rob somebody in the hood, what am I gonna get? A EBT card? I'm gonna get somebody a SSI check. It's probably what, $600, and what I'm gonna do, split that between 3 other poop butt ass dudes. And we're gonna get $200 a piece. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna last one. We're gonna buy a dime pad. I can't even buy no Jordans for that. Some weed and a couple of fitted hats and some shirts. That $200 is gone. So They're going for the big money. So where do you find the big money in LA? Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, Santa Monica, Brentwood, all those areas where the big money is. So people are getting it how they live, man. Anyway, what y'all think about this story? What y'all think? Leave it in the comments. Give me a thumbs up button. Subscribe to Charles and Answorth.